Let's light this candle, ladies and gentlemen. The three boys are back in town. Cue the Kiss music. Kiss, most overrated band I've ever heard in my goddamn life. But anyway, this is our first pod officially of 2025, right? As
Yep.
we're doing this. Yeah. So howdy, boys. I'll kick it off here. 2025 is kicked off super spicy, and we're going to do a little Where Have We Been segment. Eric has the best news out of all three of us, I think, but we're letting me go first to soften y'all up, I guess, as listeners.
Mine starts off good, but ends with disaster pretty quick. So, yeah, Zach, go ahead.
As we've come to expect from you.
Yeah.
That's just a very Eric way of living your life. But yeah, so the end of the year, actually the very last day of the year, I quit my job at the warehouse I was working at, which was pretty exciting. But I gotta say, honestly, so here's the thing about this. Here's the thing about this. The job itself kind of sucked because it was in a warehouse, right? So I'm just hauling around, like I'm just a strong back and a weak mind for the most part there. Just hauling around heavy stuff, whatever. Um, I did get to enjoy like a little bit, find a way to enjoy some parts of it, but ultimately, kind of the part that made it bittersweet leaving was the people. I got a ton. And I'm not trying to say this to say like I'm the king of the world or I'm the coolest dude that you'll ever meet, but I got a ton of like handshakes and hugs and goodbyes and like good wishes and all this stuff and exchange phone numbers and social media with a ton of people. So it was a super cool way to. I've never left a job knowing that I kind of feel like I left it better than I came in. And so that was kind of a really cool way to go out, I thought. And it was a really cool way to kind of end the year, like a good note to end the year on, and walk into this year kind of just with that gratitude of knowing that like feeling like I'm moving in the right direction. So that was kind of pretty cool. And then also after that, went to a New Year's party that was actually pretty lit. It was like a masquerade thing, so I was half certain that my wife just like invited me to an orgy and didn't tell me it was an orgy. Fortunately, there was a lot of like hot dudes there, so it would have been totally fine.
There you go.
It would have been great. It would have been great. And yeah, so we were rocking the mass. It was a fun party. I walked out of there with like some new friends, too. Same thing, like hugs, exchange phone numbers, see you later, like hope to see you soon, all that type of shit. So it was just really cool. I don't know, like I ended 24 pretty good, walking into 25 feeling pretty fucking pumped up, if I'm honest, like just about stuff in general. So yeah, so that's me. Yeah, so Eric, if you want to bring us down a notch.
Well, I'm happy to hear that at least. To kind of touch on that a little bit. I guess maybe when you're listening to this episode, you might have heard Zach and I talk about the happiness that was Mexico and the beauty that it was and what happened with Kaylee. But I am engaged, and so that is not over. That is not the tragic news of this story. So just bear with me here. But no, that is still a thing. So yes, Kaylee and I got engaged in Mexico. She got sick in Mexico after we got engaged. And why I keep bringing that up is because I just had a touch of the norovirus. And by touch, I mean it grabbed me and threw me down and like I owed it money. So, and it took me for all I had for about 3 days. And then I think the rest of the house has it now. So that's great. And apparently, I didn't know this, but I always assumed that when you were sick with something and like you touch surfaces and you drank things like that, when you're sick, they only really last like 24 hours, right? And with norovirus, it lasts weeks. It lasts about 2 weeks apparently, or it can. And so, so Kaylee beat it, and then she got it again, and so that was fun. So she's like a raisin right now. She's just there's no water in her at all, if you know what I mean. But me, man, I'm telling you, like I've always joked around, like like when you're on the toilet and it's coming on both ends and things like that. It happened for the first time in my life, and that was a humbling experience. But we don't have to get too much more into it. But I am engaged, and I have been going to the bathroom a lot. So that's been my 2025 so far. I've lost all the weight that I've gained in Mexico since the norovirus. So thank you.
Well, glass half full.
There you go. There you go. And a toilet all the way full. So that's the way we look at things. And I think Rick has a unique story and fun times for us all. So you just tell us exactly what happened with you, Rick, this past weekend.
I got a new washer and dryer.
I think Rick can help you out, Eric, because like I have a feeling there's been at least one time you haven't quite made it.
I threw out 2 pairs of undies already. I woke myself up.
Bring them on over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's one thing I just want to go back to real quick. Every time I've had to go to the bathroom. No, every time I've been sick with the lower end of the liquids, I've woken myself up shitting my pants, for lack of a better way to say it. I've just like I don't know what happens, but I've always woken up too late. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are out there and you can identify with us, please email us your story and we'll read it on air. So, but yeah, but Rick's story will help us out here.
Yeah. Rick will pick this one back up.
So
follow that one.
Yeah. Beat that, buddy.
It's like trying to be the next band after Freebird.
Yeah. I'm okay too.
Yeah. No, before Eric blew his brains out, lower and upper, he helped me get pick up a dryer because ours shit the bed.
But done.
And so I messaged the lady because she was just had the dryer for sale, and I was like, "Hey, what are you gonna do with the washer?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just throwing it out." I'm like, "Can I take that too?" He's like, "Okay, but it doesn't work." It's like, "Okay." So I took the washer too, and I just hooked that up, and I was gonna troubleshoot it today, and I just ran a load through it, and it just worked. So I don't know what the fuck was wrong with it before, but I got a free washer.
Maybe she's just trying to maybe she's just upgrading. Maybe she's just getting a more efficient washer.
But then why tell me it doesn't work?
She told you it didn't match either.
Yeah, she also said, "Oh, you don't want that. It's old and doesn't match." And we get there and I send her a picture. I'm like, "You sure it doesn't match? They look like they match to me."
Is it just the same eggshell white color as every fucking washing machine over the last 30 years?
Well, I mean, it's the same brand and model, and you know they're in sets.
Well, yeah.
So I was like, I just asked if I could take it, and she said, "Yeah." So I did.
I just want to say too, while we were there, and Rick, I know we talked about this in private, but so this was at a gym in Minneapolis, and so we're in this area of operation, and boy, when I tell you that, I'm already intimidated when I go to my gym, and imagine me showing up in sweatpants and a winter coat, walking in. We're in an actual gym where people are lifting actual weights and not just Smith machines. And you're walking in there with a dolly and a fucking winter hat, and you're walking through, and there's people just grunting and groaning. And you think people are already looking at you when you're at the gym for doing your own thing. They're looking at you now, and they're giving you dirty looks when you're walking in their way with a fucking wash machine with cords dangling because we're two dipshits not knowing what the fuck to do. So
all I was thinking was, I'm glad I worked out that morning. Yeah. I don't feel bad about myself.
I didn't. I had a fucking egg sandwich from a gas station. So, but no, I just want to say though, those guys there that did help us out, the employees were really nice and really, really kind of not suspicious at all that Rick was like, "Oh, by the way, she did say that we could take the other one too for free." So I just thought that was kind of funny. But we did go away with the two machines, and I thought that was a neat story to go by there. Yeah. So that's what you get, folks, when you ask the question, "Hey, if I can buy this, can I get this one for free?" And I think we have a story here. Breaking news. The next president of the United States of America. Who is that again? Donald Trump?
Oh, God.
Donald Trump wants to either take over or purchase Greenland, and he wants to annex Canada. So it's similar to Rick's story in which he wants to buy a dryer and get a wash machine for free. Can you believe that?
If you guys missed Eric's segues.
Oh, that's a big fucking washing machine. Canada's a big. So it's kind of interesting too. I don't know like the current state of Canada's political climate, if they lean like right or left or what's going on. It sounds like there might be another like right-wing push going on up there too. But I was talking about this with the dudes in my band. Shout out my band. I'm in a band. I'm very cool. I'm a
What's the name?
34-year-old musician. It's not lame. Timber River. You can also find me and Rick's band at Chaostrophe, both on Spotify. You should listen to both of them and then tell me how bad I am playing bass. Email us how bad I am. But we were talking today, and we were so assuming this happened, right? Like, let's say so Trump wants to use economic coercion. I think are his words, even to coax Canada into becoming part of America. Of course, everyone in Canada seems to be laughing at this right now because, like, what the fuck? But let's say it did. Let's just say we're in hell, and it did. So then it would get if Canada's one state. If we take Canada and say that is the state of Canada, we don't like in my brain, we would separate it up into its different provinces, but no. So now it's the state of Canada, the one big state of Canada. We were like, how many electoral votes would it get? Right? So that's the fucked up part. So it would get the 2 because 2 senators, and everyone gets at least 2, but the population is 40 million people of Canada. And the population of Minnesota is like 5-ish, 5, 6, so 5 for easy math. So Canada is 8 times bigger than Minnesota. So would think it would get like that many electoral votes, or like California has the most electoral votes now with 52, and I'm not sure what the population of California is. So Canada would immediately become the biggest electoral prize by a fucking country mile, would fuck everything up. And then the other issue would be that 95% of all presidential like campaigning would be done in Canada then, or in this new state of Canada. So it would like none of these other states would really get anything, from a future president, if we were to do that. So so I guess Canada would also get like 50 plus electoral votes. So yeah, it would fuck the balance of everything. I'm fairly certain.
So for those of you that didn't see, Rick put there's about 39 million people who live in California, and they get 52 electoral votes. So that's pretty comparable.
So Canada would be about the same then for Canada.
So my question is, okay, so this might be a dumb question, but does Canada have universal health care?
Yep.
Yes. They do have a version of single payer health care.
So what would happen if that spilled over this way? If that like could it benefit the other way, like annex, or would they become US and not give us their stuff? Could it mesh in that kind of way, or would it just become capitalist bullshit right away?
That's a really good question.
Let's just play the game.
Yeah, play the what if game. I personally think that there would have to be much like when Brexit happened, it'd be a reverse of that, where they would have to negotiate all of this different stuff. Because then you're not trading across countries then. Anything that we'd trade with Canada would become like interstate trade, which is probably handled differently and things like that. So I imagine that they would have to talk it out and go, okay, your health system is this now. Or I think the only possible thing that like our shitty, stupid, fucked up government would allow is that the state of Canada has universal health care. But I think that's a thing that California has tried to do unsuccessfully thus far. I don't remember for sure, but I feel like that was a thing they may have tried at some point. That would be my guess.
So you have to take into consideration too all of the other laws and rules and regulations that they have that we don't, or that are different than ours. It's not just universal health care. Their gun laws are different. Their constitution is different. Everything is fucking different. What do you do with the provinces? Do those lines just disappear? What about the municipalities of each province, or the state level government in that regard? How do you get your fucking license renewed if there's one fucking city hall that you have to, how do you you go to the fucking capital of the state that's across the goddamn what was a country?
Well, I was gonna say Canada's fucking huge. Like physically, it's fucking enormous.
Yeah.
So this is just like I don't know. Maybe it's just like haha jokes, laugh. It's Trump doing his thing again. But this is dangerous to just joke about, right? Like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
What is he trying to do here? Is he just being a?
Is it
Yeah.
dangerous to joke about, or is it more dangerous to take seriously? I think the more
Well,
people that laugh in Trump's face and make him realize how fucking ridiculous this is, maybe. Then again, maybe we just have him pursue it for the next 2 years until we can fucking take away his Congress.
I mean, if
Tackle
that's
the
the
important
little,
issues.
well, here's the thing. There's so much. Okay, there's so much of stupid bullshit going on right now with him too. So here's the thing: is as far as taking it, like with Trump, it's always you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, because you should be able to take things a president says seriously, right? Like you should be able to listen to this man talk or woman someday, maybe, and be like, yes, that is what they intend on doing. Whether or not it's possible or not, obviously, is a whole different conversation. But like, you have to go into this assuming, like, yeah, this dumb prick is going to try and economically coax Canada into annexing with the United States, which is like just going to be a fucking fool's errand. So I just, yeah, I mean, yeah, we can sit and laugh at it, but then if we're so busy laughing at it, what is he doing in the background then? Like what is he doing while he's waving one hand about this whole Canada bullshit? I think it would be incredibly, I mean, just like Rick kind of outlined, there's a lot of shit going on in Canada that's different. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like Canada, I don't know if Canada annexing with the United States has any benefit for either side at all in any way. I think Trump has just moved on from being like this weird batty old fuck that we elected like back in 2016 to like full-blown demented heinous individual that's dead set on conquering things and expanding American territory. Like I don't know, like this cocksucker must have like just learned about Alexander the Great or something. Like this dude just had a book read to him. Sorry, there's no way this fuckhead reads. He just had a book read to him about fucking Genghis Khan and just went like, "Beautiful, let's do it. Let's fucking do it. I'm buying Canada. I'm buying Greenland. We're gonna fucking hunt down the Panama Canal and buy it back. We're gonna attack Mexico." Like,
Yeah.
so that's who we are now, I guess. Which, our territory is going to expand too far, and like we've seen throughout history, we collapse. So, welcome to the fucking spiral, boys.
Yeah. And we see like the extreme, would you call it nationalism too, when we start like naming shit differently too, like the Gulf of
America.
Gulf of
America.
Freedom.
Yeah. That's freedom. That's freedom water down there, folks. It's
Yeah.
what do you say?
right under the US's taint.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, seriously, like that's where the US like shits out the Mississippi River. Like, come on, man. Like you can't even fucking swim in that water, I don't think. Like I legitimately don't think that water is like good. Like it's
Well,
not clean.
it's polluted. Yeah, it's all the sediment from the Mississippi. It's disgusting. It's no.
That kind of makes sense for how America sits right now. So fuck it. Let's spend. I think I saw like a figure somewhere that it would cost like just because of all of like the paperwork and the bullshit of renaming it and putting the new name everywhere, it costs billions of dollars to rename it. So fuck it. You know what? I don't want to pay less for gas. I don't want to pay less for eggs. My taxes, fucking hike them. I don't give a shit. Let's pay through the nose for everything. Inflation can just keep bending me over. I want the Gulf of Mexico renamed because that's what's important to my life.
But
So
go ahead.
Address Zach's point about how much it's going to cost.
Yeah.
I've heard people in my fucking life bitch about how much it costs to change our flag, the Minnesota flag. They bitch about the cost of it, that it was millions of dollars and blah, 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 blah. And those same fuckers voted for Trump, and I guarantee are okay with this. Doesn't matter. So your original complaint also doesn't fucking matter. You don't actually care about that. You just want to bitch. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say something similar too. It's all these people that were concerned about the groceries and all these fucking the gas prices and the economy in itself, and they're going to be the first people in line to buy that fucking map if this were to happen, and they'd be the first person to fucking support this, be like, you know what? Yeah, I think it's about time. think it's about time we take back that name. Where even is Mexico? Why they don't even touch it? It's right under us. Us, U.S. Mind blown. Jesus Christ.
Wait till they realize that North America spells cum top to bottom. Canada, United States, Mexico.
5th grade was awesome when I figured that out. Yeah, man.
Fuck
yeah. I can't
I
believe
love
it.
cum.
I'm gonna make that the soundbite. No, I'm
That was a clean break and everything. Perfect.
Yeah, man. Dude, that's gonna be my voicemail tone. I love cum. I love cum. Anyway, so here's the to get back to the fucking terrifying moment at hand that we have a fucking 80-year-old dumb fucking prick in charge in. T minus, what do we got here? 11, 12 days as we're recording this. I don't know. So he had recently a press conference. It's like 112 minutes long, so I have not gotten through any of it. That's going to be a fucking meat grinder because I can't listen to that dude for an hour, much less more than an hour, much less almost 2 hours. But in that, he did not rule out using military force to take I think it was Greenland and the Panama Canal. So not only are we talking about like trying to buy stuff or coax people into like merging with us, like we're just gonna straight up send the military to the fucking Panama Canal, which like I don't remember the full history of the Panama Canal because I learned it in like the 5th grade, and that is just not something I've used in my daily life. But I'm fairly certain we built that cocksucker, or the United States built it or had a hand in building it or paying for it, whatever, to make trade easier. So now, but again, like everything with Trump is a fucking zero sum game. Like, oh, well, we're not making money off the Panama Canal. No, it benefits everyone because boats go through it loaded with fucking shit that your dumbass buys and this whole country buys. Like, it's a mutually beneficial thing. And again, like, I know that, like, sure, Canada has resources, Greenland has resources, all this stuff. I think the thing is that's got to be going on. What I'm sort of realizing in real time is that, like, he doesn't want to trade with anyone. But if we own the territories that have all those resources, we can box everyone else out. And we can say, fuck you, we have everything we need. Which is a bad idea. Like this isn't a good idea. Nobody should think this is a good idea.
So who okay, so kind of a side rant, but kind of not side rant, but related to what you just said. North Korea, they're boxed out, right? In a way.
Yeah.
Or who do they get
basically.
shit from?
Man, I don't know. I think they must trade with like China or other nearby. They got to have some friends somewhere
I'm
because
sure they
they're
trade with
they
like China and Russia.
I would say I think they trade with China for sure. Some of those types of places.
Is that where we're going? Is that what we're trying to do here?
It seems like that's what he wants to do.
That's the ultimate end game of like nationalism. But we're pairing it with like North Korea hasn't tried, too hard in recent memory to try and like expand their territory. But we're talking about, yes, boxing everyone out, but we're talking about also expanding our territory. And expansion of territory, if you know your history, again, like I said at the top of this, it's a bad idea. Eventually, like you just literally get too big for your britches and you can't take control of everything. I mean, it was Alexander the Great. It was Genghis Khan. It was the British fucking whatever the goddamn whatever the word that I want. All the British people and their teeth are fucking bad still
Empire.
from it because karma. But it just grows and grows and grows out of hand, and then you can't keep control of everything. But this dipshit doesn't know that because he can't read. I'm not convinced Donald Trump can read, and also like he's not going to be here to give a fuck. So if he makes it through these 4 years, I'm going to be shocked. He was almost shot 3 different fucking times during the campaign, like So it's just, and he's old. Like he's old and unhealthy and whatever. So yeah, it's honestly. Like, yeah, it's funny to talk about and joke about, and like some people I've seen from Canada have clapped back at him for it, but like it's legitimately a terrifying idea if he actively really tries to go after it, especially if like there's no adults in the room to stop him. So we have to rely on all the dipshits in Congress to tell him like, no, you fucking orange sack of shit. This is not a good idea. Like this will be the beginning of the end of this country. straight up. So
Well,
I don't know.
and didn't Congress pass something because of his antics on in his last term that basically takes away some of that power to just like he can't just unilaterally decide we're going to war with a country. I don't remember the specifics of it.
I feel like they put up some guardrails, but yeah, I don't remember either.
Here, I can take a peek if there's something out there.
Yeah, I know Biden in his last days here has also been trying to kind of do things. Recently I don't remember if he passed like by executive order how this worked, but he basically passed something or signed something into law that like blocked Trump from drilling on another like 600 million acres or some shit of land,
Okay.
which Trump had a shit fit about and like was learning math in real time, which was really funny. So that's a clip you guys should find if you haven't seen it. Yeah, it's like as big as the ocean. Like he like literally like is learning multiplication tables in real time behind the podium. It's fucking hilarious.
So I have another question that you guys probably won't know the answer to, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Yeah.
So Trump had put into place some tariffs that Biden ended up keeping, and I think he had to keep them because like he couldn't get rid of them or something. Couldn't Biden do that for every single country and just put in like a 0.00001 tariff on whatever the fuck that doesn't have tariffs on it now, just so Trump can't change it for his whole term or some bullshit like that?
Yeah, but I think I know that tariffs are a big political game, and I feel like while yes, you could go to like kind of go to a meeting of the minds of every country and go, listen, it's just because this guy is so unbearably fucking stupid that I need to whatever. But I think that messing with trade, I think, is more delicate, is my assumption. You know what I mean? Like it's too delicate even to do something like that. And I don't know either. Like the tariff thing too is a thing with like I don't know how much power Trump has to just unilaterally put that big of a tariff on some of these things. I mean, he's said anywhere from like 10% to like I've heard like 200% tariffs on like shit from Mexico. Like so your Ford F-150 pickup is suddenly like a $300,000 car like just because he's a fucking idiot and doesn't understand how that works. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe there's a way you could kind of do some shit like that, but they'd have to dig deep in a law book somewhere, I assume. I don't know.
It's just a thought I had. I have no idea how legitimate that is, but
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, I think Bitsky could probably do a lot of petty shit to prolong any of Trump's felt bullshit, right? I think a lot of people were saying that he should do that, right? Even in the waning days of the election, was like, hey, now that this was passed, you have immunity, do this, that, and the other thing. But he didn't, and he did pardon his son. So I think that's the thing he's probably just going to get away with.
I do think he should have lost his fucking mind. Biden should have gone fucking nuts and done everything he could. He's done a lot of shit to piss Trump off in these last days, but like I think he should have just fucking pulled the pin on that fucking grenade and did anything he could to piss him off. Right? Because I mean, hey man, again, like we talked about it forever ago when it happened. The Supreme Court decided that any official act by the president is just it's fine. You can't be charged with any sort of crimes for it. I'm not saying Biden should do crimes, but what I am saying is he basically now has free reign to do whatever the fuck he wants within the bounds of, what executive orders and things like that can do. So fuck it, like yeah, don't break a law or don't like, order people dead or anything fucked up like that. But like, yeah, do what you can to piss Trump off and do what you can to try and protect this country from the complete lunacy on the way out. I strongly was in favor of that.
Yeah, I wish something would have happened too. I just cannot believe the amount of so I go on obviously the old TikTok and things like that, but when I see like the Gulf of America still like this the reaction to that when I see these sunglass wearing folks and the hat wearing fellas reacting to that and be like, sounds good, sounds strong, sounds about right, I saw a video of a guy make fun of all these people that react to that on Facebook, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, guys, it's not even in an actual thing yet, and you're saying it sounds strong. You just put America there. America. That's all you did. That's all you did. You put America there, and it sounds strong. No, that's like putting my name anywhere and be like, yep, that's it. Eric.
now.
Yeah. And my name's
Eric.
in America.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? and you don't hear me creaming in my Quakes. So you fucking yeah.
It's because all these guys are fucking. They're listening to fucking Andrew Tate and all these other fucking dorks, and they're just like lonely, and they haven't nut in like 6 months because like semen retention is a thing that makes you bigger and manlier and stronger, and like so their wife is just depressed at home because fuck, he ain't fucking doing anything for her, like so it's just these sad fuckers in these overpriced pickup trucks that they bought to haul like their shitty fishing boat once a fucking year. So they buy a $90,000 fucking F-350 with the biggest diesel motor, and they put a 5-inch tip on it, and they fucking roll coal at every fucking Prius they see because they think it makes their dick fucking bigger. I don't know, fucking clowns, man.
You just described 100% of my hometown. Did you know that?
Yeah,
where I went to high school.
I think that was pretty
Nailed it.
accurate to that part of the country. It's accurate to the part of the country we grew up in, all three of us. Fuck, man, that's why we're so familiar with it. Like it's those types of motherfuckers, which is why you saw after the election, like Eric, I know you saw it, and I saw a bunch of it where people were like, look, we need more like reasonable white men. Like this is the one time we're gonna ask for some reasonable white men to grab a microphone, because like all the fucking unreasonable ones, like, dude, I tell you what, I know I'm a white dude. I know we're all white dudes. They should charge us like 10 times more for these microphones than they do for like a person of color. Like for the same product, if a black woman walks up to the counter, they should be like, yeah, it's a $50 microphone. And then when I walk up with the same product and say, yes, I would like to buy this, sir, they should be like, that is $10,000. Like,
yeah,
we need to tariff microphones for white people. Fucking,
that's a solid take, I think. And I'm not just like fucking, kissing the ass of what people kind of want to hear right now as far as lefties, but like, you kind of that is true. You know what I mean? Like what do we got to say that people really want to listen to? You know what I mean?
I got a new washer, guys.
Yeah, like, come on. Talk about fucking norovirus and wash machines. Jesus Christ.
Because you have all these fucking doornails. I see it all the time. My Instagram feed is cooked, guys. It's cooked. It's either legitimately like bad musicians, like it's like bad, like everyone thinks they're bad. It's not just I don't like it. It's like they are not talented musicians. It's reels of that. Don't know where that came from. Don't know how I got on that side of Instagram. It's schizophrenic, like old women saying they're not afraid of Jason Momoa. Yep, seen that one. Yep, she ain't fucking scared, dude. She's not scared. She's not scared. And then it's like these fucking right wingers talking about like they are so close to just straight up saying it's gay to fuck your wife. Like
they've said that.
They've said shit. They've said shit like there's this one dude that I always see. He talks about like, unless I was having sex for procreation, I wouldn't enjoy it. Bull fucking shit, you wouldn't. Motherfucker, it's because you've never fucked. You don't know how cool that shit is. The shit rocks, especially when it's fucking consensual, for the record. Nothing unconsensual, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Get permission. If it's not a yes, it's a no. Jeez, I shouldn't have to fucking say it. We have tater tots running around that think fucking human trafficking is fine, so I don't fucking know.
You almost sent Matt Gaetz on another fucking cross-country spree. Because we know he listens. Big fan.
Yeah.
Dude, if I wish Matt Gaetz listened to us. That'd be fucking awesome. I wish we could see a list of the names of everyone who's ever downloaded this show.
He doesn't his face look shiny? Doesn't he just look shiny?
His eyes are too close together and they're beady.
Yeah. When you said paranoid schizophrenic, it kind of triggered something with me. So I just want to talk about that for just like 15 seconds. And then we'll get back to what we're going to talk about. But I was on TikTok, and you remember all the fog we were having? Maybe you guys saw this too. Remember we were having a lot of fog here in Minnesota, and I'm sure across the country too. So you might be familiar with it if you're listening. But a lot of older people and a lot of righties were saying that the fog was smart dust. And I don't know what smart dust is, but I am certainly not a victim of it. But but I do want to say that it was their first time seeing fog. It was like, you know what it reminds me of? This like everybody's seeing like the orbs and seeing things like they think that they see in space and the drones and all this bullshit, and like they're just coming up with these explanations. It reminds me of primitive times when people would come up with these stories as like the chariot bringing the sun across the sky, right? Like they're coming up with these scenarios, and they're telling enough people, and enough people are believing it, where it's becoming truth, and it's becoming truth to enough people where it's almost like in a couple of years from now, who's to say like who's going to believe what, right? Like there's enough people right now that believe that there's smart dust that was fucking here on Earth fucking 2 weeks ago that we all breathe, and that some of us are now smarter or dumber and or going to die. And maybe that's why I had norovirus. You know what I mean? Who knows?
I just can't, like, I can't wrap my head around the idea that I'd look outside and go, huh, it's foggy. And then, like, and it's certainly not because there was like a 30-degree swing in temperature in Minnesota. No, that's not it.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
and then I could like talk to my friend, like, you know, the next state over, and they go, yeah, it's foggy here too. And I go, huh, it's foggy somewhere else the same time it's foggy here. It's the government. They're trying to kill us. Like, well, they don't do that shit when it's sunny and 80 in Miami. Oh, weird, it's sunny and 80 in Georgia too. Are they trying to sun us to death? You fucking
Skin
inbreds.
cancer. Think about that.
Well, God fucking damn. Here's the thing. I can fuck every single one of these conspiracy theories about the government's adding this, doing that, blah blah blah. Two things. And they would agree with this if they would think for half a fucking second, but I know they can't read. So, one, the government is not organized to do it, and by their own admission, they don't believe the government is organized enough to do it, because they always say, blah, 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 we could never have this, that, XYZ thing, because the government would fuck it up. And B, if the government wanted to kill us, they would not do it by an additive function, right? They would not add shit to the water. They would not add shit to the air to fog it. They would not add chemtrails to the sky. So they would not do that because it would cost them time and money and effort and planning that they do not want to do. If they wanted to kill us, they could just cut off resources right there, all done, and we all slowly die. Like, there. The government would never use an additive thing to kill us or to hurt us in any way. That's it.
And
That's
why
it.
would
It's
they
just
want
fun.
like? But we're their main source of like where their product and consumer of the product. You know what I mean? Like we're
Right.
both things to like if they're going to be a conspiracy theorist and they're against like the man or whatever or whatever they're going against, and there's this giant thing of control, like we are the main thing keeping it alive. So why would they want to even kill off people, even the people they don't agree with? They need them. They need it's mutualism. It's not, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
Oh, that's exactly right. You're exactly right.
You sound like one of them Panama Canal sympathists.
Yeah. You don't want us to have the Panama Canal back. I don't know what it's for because I just learned about it, but God damn it, Trump says we need it.
Yeah. Yeah. In 30 years from now, were you a Panama Canal volunteer? All right. But no,
it's so good.
I chose a career. No, but
I chose to read books.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate scuba diving. No, but I want to say that 3 days ago marked a 4-year anniversary of January 6th. So let's talk about that and how the proper way of January 6th was handled this year with the presidential transition and how it wasn't 4 years ago.
Did you guys think of how fucking hilarious it was that everyone was saying leading up to that, how the left is going to do a bunch of fucking crazy shit to throw off the election results, and then it didn't fucking happen?
Yeah.
Nobody did anything.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened except what was supposed to happen.
Kamala Harris did what she was supposed to do and certified the fucking election, just like Mike Pence did, just like all the other vice presidents did before. What? But fuck you.
But then there's
cops were killed.
There's no self-reflection though.
No, absolutely not. Nothing.
I don't know what you guys see like surrounding January 6th, because of course, on that day and around the day, There's a lot of discussion about what it was and was not, right? And uh, a lot of people that, again, just I think arbitrarily want to believe that it was okay, just say it was peaceful. They say only one officer died. Trump only walks around talking about Ashley Babbitt, who was shot and killed. And apparently that's the only person, which is just not true. There were 4 cops that took their own lives after the fact due to PTSD. There was one who had 2 strokes during the event trying to fight off everyone else, and he died at the scene. Another was beaten in the face with a flagpole to death. Um, and then, of course, there's a bunch of people that sustained a ton of injuries, have PTSD now still from this day. Um, someone wrote an op-ed in New York Times about how, I mean, he broke, I think, like his foot and his hand and a couple of ribs and is all fucked up. And he wrote a thing about how, like, hey, like, you need to come to terms with the fact that this was violent. This was very bad. I still suffer from PTSD, all of that, which is serious shit. PTSD is fucked up. And it can come from something like that. I mean, imagine your job is to protect the capital of the United States, like politically our most like hollowed ground, and you fuck it up to some dip fuck in a horned hat. Like, and he goes charging in there and decides to fucking scream about fucking reptiles in the goddamn sewer or whatever the fuck whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so the thing of it is, like, I mean, and I've talked to people, they go, oh, only one person died. And I go, no, there were, I think, 9 bodies in total out of that. And they go, oh, cool. And that's it. Like,
Yeah.
that they're not willing to acknowledge it, not willing to go, oh shit, that was serious. None of it. And I just don't think that for people on the right, it really has sunk in that, like, I mean, yeah, people go, oh, they compare it to like the Boston Tea Party and all this shit. I'm like, yeah, it kind of was. But that was against our own country, or this January 6th was against our own country, the United States of America. The Boston Tea Party was to fight back against the UK and against the British and against the taxation that they were giving from all the way across the fucking pond. It's different. It's apples and oranges, man. Like, these shitheads that broke into that fucking building and threatened the lives of Mike Pence and various other Congress members tried to commit a treason. They should all remain in prison. Every single one of them. Trump pardons a single one of those fuckers, and he has just royally fucked, like, just the entire constitution, like the entire belief in this country, the entire standing that we're supposed to stand on is just crumbling if he does that. Just one, and he's going to do them all. So, like, it doesn't matter. He's going to do them
So
all.
I have a couple of things to add to that. I feel like the Republicans have hit critical mass, like peak irony, when one of them beats a cop to death with their Blue Lives Matter flag. Okay. Secondly, how can you say it's peaceful? They built a fucking gallows. It was built. We all saw the pictures of it. Like, how can you say, no, they're just on a tour? Oh yeah, I always build a fucking. I got to bring my tour gallows with me whenever I go on a fucking tour. Fuck you, man. It wasn't peaceful. There's nothing peaceful about it. Jesus Christ.
Well, and dude, okay, what tour have you ever gone to? Like, I've been to museums and stuff before, and I'm assuming you guys have too. At what point do they make you climb the wall to get in the fucking building? Which, by the way, the wall next to the fully functioning stairs. Okay, so like these fucking morons can't even get in the building that they're storming properly. For fuck's sake, that is a level of intellect we're dealing with in this country. And that's the level of intellect 74 million dumb fucks used on election day.
And
Like,
they're winning.
no. Yeah, and again, like, they're not taking into consideration, they're completely ignoring the property damage done to the Capitol, the shit that, I mean, there was a fucking picture that one lady stealing a whole fucking podium out of the goddamn place. People are breaking doors. There's one dude sitting with his feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk. And then there's, of course, all the accounts of people from the right and left saying, like, yeah, they had to like lock and barricade the doors to the chambers. And they were all like basically in like hiding for the entire duration of this, being terrified. So it's like you're just ignoring the accounts of people also on your side of the aisle. But I guess they're not, they're not Republican. They're not hard enough. They're not far right enough
The
for you
rhinos.
to fucking accept their fucking opinion. It's absolutely like, I've never run into any of these people in person, and like, I just hope I don't. Not because I think I'll do violence, but because I think I won't be able to stop yelling. Like, I swear to fucking God, man. Like, I used to give more shits about this country, and clearly I still do, because like, if you want to piss me the fuck off, just say that this was fine or that this didn't happen, right? Like, God damn it. Like, you need to take this shit seriously, and like nobody in this country is fucking serious anymore. Like, I get it. We're all pissed off. The government sucks, but like, this isn't it. This is not the fucking way to do this shit.
It's really, really just sickening and sad when you see, like you guys said already, but like the amount of fear that you see in like the what you hear in the testimonies and you see on their faces in like the documentary photos and things like that of these people in the chambers that are locked in there, and they're communicating with maybe their families outside of it, and you have these just enraged people outside just clamoring in there, and there's dead people they're crawling over. There's, like you guys said, there's fucking like they're just going after everybody, right? They're just trying to get to this to I don't know really what their goal was. Do you guys know what their goal was? Just to
I don't think
fear,
they
to
had.
instill fear and to fucking overturn the election? Like,
Their goal
I don't
was
know if
to
they're a unified front.
overturn the election, or that was sort of the idea that Trump sent them with, because that's what happened. That's what fucking happened. Fight me on that. So that was the idea, but thankfully none of them really knew what the fuck they were doing, or like Zach said, they weren't unified in it and how to go about it. And so they just kind of got in, and they're like, okay, we won.
yeah, the dog caught the
You know
cart,
what?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I don't think they thought they were going to get in, but then when all these fucking knuckle dragging butt fucks, like, yeah, they climbed the wall again next to the stairs. I just take the stairs. I don't know, guys. I take the stairs.
Demonstrating how effective a wall is at keeping people out.
Yeah, no, yeah. The irony. They're climbing the fucking wall. Jesus H. No,
Did
it is absolutely heinous.
Did they smear their shit on stuff? Like, what was that about?
There was some accounts of people, yeah, like shitting on someone's desk. Like, dude, it's literal just primate shit. Like, it's
That's what I'm
literally
saying.
just
They're-
low level, low intellect, fucking rat brain stuff that they're doing.
They're just they get
We
into
won.
the
I
most-
took over this office. I better shit on the desk now.
yeah.
That's how I think
Yeah.
office work goes.
carpet
Yeah,
walkers.
Yeah, bang! I shit on the desk. Election overturned. Checkmate, libs.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna leave and get fucking arrested and go to fucking prison for varying amount of times. Like that's the thing, man. They're so fucking unserious. They can't do this shit right. And then like nobody wants to admit that it was a fucking like one of the most horrible things in our fucking history, like to this point, as far as like our government directly goes and attacks against it, I should say, because we've done terrible shit for the entire time we've existed. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah. So
I'm white. That's not for me to talk about.
I wonder. So Kamala, shit.
You'll never. That's okay. You'll never get it right. Nobody
Kamala
ever
did
does.
it correctly this time around. And I don't know if you guys saw the applause that all the fucking cheesers gave DJT when they announced how many he got, the votes wise, and then old Bluey gave her Kamala applauses when they announced how many votes she got. So I thought that was kind of cool as well. But dude, the amount of, did you see that little fucking runt? I don't know what his goddamn name is, but his little goddamn, I don't know. I don't want to make fun of his physical features.
The
You gotta
Speaker of the
specify.
House.
Yeah,
Are
that
you looking-
fucking
Mike
Speaker
Johnson.
of the House.
Mike Dick last
Yeah.
name.
This is the second time you forgot his name.
Yeah.
You opened that
It's super important. Yeah.
it's like
Oh,
3 or 4
fuck.
episodes ago. You said
I
the same
fucking hate
fucking
him.
thing.
I don't like him. I don't like him because I think he's a rat, and I think he's a rat
shouldn't.
because you know what I mean. He just has corrupt written all of him. He's just got that look on him, like, yeah, we're up to something, and I'm best friends with that guy. He's gonna be the first guy. If this was a mafia movie, he'd be the first guy whacked because he means nothing to the plot of the film. You know what I mean? He thinks he's in, and he's out right away. That's what I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah. Yeah. No plot armor. Yeah. Mike Johnson. No plot armor in this one.
Yeah.
I agree.
Fun fact about Mike Johnson is that he has an app on his phone, and so does his son, that keeps them both accountable to each other. So neither one of them watches porn.
See,
That's
that's
fun.
the
His son has two
opposite of what
phones.
my dad and I do. I text my dad every time I watch porn.
I watch my dad watch porn.
From over his shoulder, I just take a peek at what he's into, see if I'm into it.
Okay, makes sense.
Oh, okay. Speaking of porn, goddamn, yeah, I gotta quit ranting. Good thing we have an explicit label in these fucking podcast things. 'Cause I'm getting angry. But speaking of porn, the North Korean military was recently introduced to like the internet as like we know it. Immediate porn addictions. It's to the point where like they're all compromised and fucking useless because they're just like with these phones that they've got with access to like the not North Korea internet now, they're just fucking so busy cranking hog that they just can't fucking do anything.
See,
just immediate porn addiction.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
That's why I go back
Dude,
to
it
my
rocks.
point. Hand jobs save lives. Think about how much think about how angry that country is, and you know what I mean, or like militaries are in general, and if they just were to spew a little seed every now and again, they probably would have been calmer.
Well, now they're like, I don't see what the big deal is.
Yeah, like, whew, Jesus Christ, we're all fucking matching. Damn. What are we doing here?
That guy does look like a basketball in a trench coat. Fuck. No, dude, it's wild. Well, what's wild is there's a whole what is it, the 4B movement they're calling it, where basically like a bunch of people have agreed not to sleep with like these conservative like dipshit men.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's funny because here's the thing is like so many men are bitching about like so they're just not gonna have sex with any men. No, they're only gonna fuck the good ones. So like here's the thing. My wife hates women or hates men. Right? Like, I don't know if she hates women. She has like 3 friends. It's fine. My wife is great. My wife like hates men. Like, just doesn't get along with dudes as much. Like, she does get along with dudes, but like in general, it's the like all the dudes we talk about here. Like, she just fucking you know, and like all this patriarchy bullshit. Like, it just pisses her off fairly.
Sure.
But here's the thing. Like, I still get to hit. It's because I'm not a piece of fucking garbage. Like,
yeah.
Like, so that's the thing. Like, and it's not hard to not be a piece of shit. You just have to ideologically not be a piece of shit and like have a semblance of respect for women and their rights and their bodily autonomy. It's really not that hard.
Empathy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a tiny bit of empathy. It's great. Like, it's not hard.
It's weird that what you just said is literally just being human to one another, but also like to a woman, right? It's 2025 now, and it's almost like they just want the bare minimum, and it's no, you just need that just to talk to them now, and your wife is a perfect example of probably 99% of the ladies out there, and to the 1%ers, you know, I know a few of you, and you know, I'm a little perplexed. I'm not gonna lie, and you know, I know
Eric,
Jesus
they want
cures.
to be property.
You know. Dude. I heard a video the other day where it says women. You know, I'm not even going to talk about the video because I think that was probably just rage bait. Now that I think about it, but I just know I see a lot of like high school people that I went to high school with, a lot of ladies, and they're posting stuff about, you know, Jesus cures and things like that, and they're very, very religious, but also very like okay with is it misogyny? Is that the one?
Yeah, misogyny. That's the word you want.
There we go. And I'm educated. I went to school. I read sometimes. But I'm just like, God damn, you know, what happened? What happened along the way? Because, you know, I feel like they were influenced, and you just kind of got to think, you know, how does a man still have that much power over a woman, a free woman, that, you know, was on their way to probably doing something great, and that they were slowed down by some dipshit, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, there's plenty of stories. I'm sure there's plenty of women whose names we will never know because of what men do to get in the way. Truly, and I say that as a white guy, and white guys are the ones traditionally getting in the way. So, but no. Again, like if women aren't sleeping with you, maybe you have no game. Maybe you're asking the wrong women. Yeah, like, and the libs are winning because we can make women come. Like, that's fucking it. Give a shit about the person you're with. Don't just fucking pump a load off. All right, good night. Go away. Like, fuck you. I called you an Uber. Have some fucking respect. God damn it.
I just realized something. Maybe I shouldn't say this. Nah, it's too late. People want to know.
The people need to know, Eric.
let me be clear. I found out. I just realized in real time that a lot of the fellas that I don't necessarily hang out with, but a lot of fellas that I used to know that that had lady troubles in that area that you just said, Zach, wouldn't go down yonder, if you know what I mean, because they thought it was gross. Now I realize they're all raging Republicans. That probably correlates, don't you think? 'Cause
Yeah,
I was snout
I think
deep
it
in a
does.
beaver. You know what
Dude,
I mean?
I think it does. Here's the thing. The pro tip, you gotta exist between in the space between. You gotta figure out what both people need, and you do all that. You
I'm
do all
probably
that
cutting that
tantric
part out.
shit that Sting does. Sex Talk with Sue was when I grew up. You know, you watch the old lady talk about fucking dildos and stuff. It's great.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, not
Yeah.
me, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was my era. That was my era of sleepover party with the boys. We'd turn that on and laugh at these giant fucking Great American Challenges. She's fucking bobbing around at 80 years old.
I
R.I.P.
think,
Probably. She was like 1,010 years ago. So
yeah, but she was never dissatisfied. Probably.
no,
Um,
she
you
has
know,
some weapons on that table.
she was probably Everest to some fellas. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
No,
know,
that's
I
dude. I
found.
don't know. I think that correlation. I think you're onto something. I think you're onto something. I don't think conservative men can satisfy a woman the way a liberal can because we have empathy.
We know our shortcomings,
Dude,
and
I know where the little man in the boat is. I know where that little fucker is. I can find him.
yeah, and I just fucking tongue punch that. No, just kidding.
Jesus Christ. Bring us to
All right,
our next segment, Eric.
what is it? I think we're
Enough
done.
of this. Oh,
Or do
oh,
we
we
have
need to
another
make we got one more. We got one more. We got kind of a couple more. Uh
one?
can I
Okay.
just say for a moment that Elon Musk is a fucking dork? I know we're at the hour mark, but I just need a minute to say that Elon Musk is a dork for making a sock puppet Twitter account and then posting about how good of a dad Elon is when he's clearly using his fucking one of his sons as a meat shield because he knows that a bullet
Right.
could enter his brain at any moment.
That is fucking insane. That I'm glad that we finally talked about the meat shield thing, but also the fake account thing because I saw that a couple weeks ago too. But the fact that this is a real deal thing, and so there's a lot to dissect here. I feel like with when it comes to this fucking psychopath, and I fucking every time I see his face, I have a lot of rage towards Elon Musk right now, just because he doesn't go here. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So and like the fake account that he has where he didn't really disguise his voice. Did you guys hear that audio? Was that real audio?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That,
that
so
was
that
the
was
real deal
genuine.
as well. Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like my boomer's showing. I can't really tell what's AI anymore. But
Dude,
I've
nobody can.
but so that was real. And he has a fake account. And like you said, Zach, he's commenting how great of a father he is, because I saw that as well. And he's just he's using putting his son up after Trump got the assassination attempt and things like that. What the fuck is wrong with you?
That is the most pure form of narcissism I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
He
He has to
values himself.
self-fillet in front of fucking millions of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Let's spend more
So
time on. No, we don't have to end. No, let's go.
Oh yeah. I mean,
it's just bad, dude. It's just bad. Don't
every time I get in my car, I hope that he's fucking dropping eaves on me and listening in because I say fuck Elon Musk every time I get into my fucking Tesla.
Dude, okay, here's one thing too about Elon making cars. God, we're gonna burn through topics. Here's the lightning round, boys. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that when okay, so for those who don't know, someone parked a Cybertruck out front of a Trump Plaza hotel in Las Vegas, put a bullet in their head, and blew it up. It was filled with fireworks and gas cans. The dude was a Green Beret of like 19 years, came from Fort Bragg in North Carolina, and he was out on leave. I haven't read more on why the hell he decided to do that, but it sounds like he's sending a message because it feels like the Cybertruck was intentional because I believe it was rented. So, with that knowledge in your back pocket, isn't it very funny that for a while before the investigation really went underway, nobody knew if the Cybertruck was blown up intentionally or if he parked it there and by itself it just
Yeah.
fucking exploded because that's how fucking shitty this dude makes cars sometimes. Like, when was the last time a Chevy pickup blew up and you're just like, maybe it just did it itself? No, it's Chevy. It's like a rock. We've all seen the fucking commercials. Those cocksuckers just don't fall apart. They don't die. You put a 350
Sink.
in one of those fucking transmissions in something and it goes to 1,000,000 miles. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, you know what's funny? That was a genuine thought of mine too. When I first saw the video or heard of it, I was like, "Oh shit, that's kind of ironic that one of his cars blew up by itself outside of the hotel." But no,
That's
it's
what
a
I thought too.
goddamn domestic terrorist attack. Yeah,
I must have been the only one that immediately thought it was fishy that it blew up in front of a Trump hotel. I was like, all right, there's too much there.
See, I did feel like it was a little too on the nose, but I was also like, I would not be surprised if all of a sudden there was just like a rash of exploding Cybertrucks for some fucking and also because everything else is bad, these things also just fucking explode because
They
like
have been recalled 6 times already.
I was gonna say they hit like a 6-month mark.
Jeez. Oh my god. That's not a good vehicle. Everyone who buys those, they're not good and they look like shit. I see them driving around by me now. Fuck, man. Could you make an uglier looking thing? Like, ugh. It's disgusting.
It's ugly, but it's you know, it's like I don't know. There's something about it that makes you want to keep looking at it. You know what I mean? It's like a crooked wiener. It's like how did that happen?
It's like when you take someone's shirt off and their nipples are facing opposite directions. I don't know what the fuck to do with that one. I have seen it being called the Incel Camino, which I think is a very fun play on the classic El Camino, which is actually a cool car from a long time ago.
I saw it called a DePlorian.
That's a good one too. I haven't seen that one. I like that one, especially with the futuristic vibes. That's a good one too.
Yeah.
I might save that one. Yeah. So
Kind of looks like trucks I used to draw, and I know it's a meme, but it legitimately does look like trucks I used to draw.
well, that's when they first released the Cybertruck, they were like, "This is what this thing's gonna look like." The first thing out of my mouth was, "That looks like what a 3-year-old draws when you give him crayons and some blank paper."
Yeah.
Like if I slap some crayons down in front of a fucking child that can has the concept of a car in their brain, and I said, "Draw me a car," they might literally on accident draw that, like just
You guys,
without ever seeing one.
you guys know Elon had a hand in the design.
Oh, of
No,
course he did.
Elon.
If that tells you anything.
Well, Elon was eating the crayons while his fucking son was doing the drawing.
I want to say one more thing about Elon too. Speaking of that fucker, did you see what he said about work from home jobs too? How he said he was
he's been mad at that for a while.
Dude, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy for saying anything about ethically and morally wrong. All right, he's a billionaire.
That guy has no room to talk about ethics.
Dude.
Yeah. He could single-handedly fix hunger in America without blinking at the cost, and he just doesn't.
Yep.
That's the thing. He has all this money and he could fix so many problems. There are problems where if you throw enough money at it, that's the problem. That's why we don't have certain things is there's just not enough money, and he could throw the money at it and he just doesn't because he just doesn't want to. He just wants to have more money, I guess, for something.
Right.
What did his parents do? Didn't he not come from?
They own an emerald mine in South America, which most certainly means they own slaves.
Oh,
so yes, this fucking cocksucker was walking around with emeralds in his pockets, like fucking Sonic the fucking Hedgehog when he was in 3rd grade.
Wow,
Elon the muskrat.
Ah.
So what the fuck? So how is he even allowed to How is his mom? How is she even?
I think she was like a model or something.
Where's his dad?
Just watching Eric glitch out is very distracting and it's very funny.
These are all the good questions for the Googler.
But you guys are right here, and this is live, so I figured if you had the answers, the audience might be asking it too.
I would. I'm fairly certain. I'm 50% certain that Behind the Bastards may have a podcast series on Elon Musk. I would point someone towards that. They usually do good work.
Yeah, let's point him to another podcast. Hey, guys.
Here's the thing. No, you can finish this one and then go listen to someone who does like research for a living and is an actual journalist, and that's where I get a lot of my stuff. But I mean, finish this one because we're funny, and Rick bought a washing machine with the money
I
from
did.
this podcast, probably.
Be
No,
happy
it's
for
free.
me,
There we go.
Love
There we go.
me.
And he didn't steal diamonds
right?
It's true.
or
It's true. Rick
emeralds.
has no emeralds. Rick has
That's
exactly
true.
0 fucking emeralds. Yeah.
I have
So
the
we're trying to make
ethical
that
amount.
emerald money. If anyone wants to sponsor the podcast, I haven't shouted this out in a while. We're trying to make emerald money here at White Noise. So if you'd like to sponsor our White Boy podcast that is not alt-right, I don't know, text message, email, DMs, letter, passenger pigeon, carrier pigeon. I
Passenger.
don't care.
It's a
He
big
decides.
fucking pigeon.
Hey,
Just like send the courier from Skyrim to like find me out in the wild.
I got a question for you too. Ethical question, kind of like if you're poor and you steal a loaf of bread type thing. All right, ready?
Yeah.
So
Shoot.
we've been doing this podcast for a while now, right? And so let's just say after all this talk, Elon Musk says, "Hey, I'll sponsor your podcast," and whatever that entails. What do you say?
Oh. The utilitarian in me says there is a price. Because we could put the money to use. Like if it was enough money that like let's say whatever, he gives us an obscene amount of money. We could either quit our jobs and just do this, or it would be enough income that we could take some but also give to causes that maybe we care about or think need attention or things like that, right? If it was a thing where we could take his money and use it to do some good in the world, part of me says we have to take it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I would have to hear the terms, but on the face of it, I kind of just want to tell him to go fuck himself.
All right. It's only
Which is
enough,
valid.
only enough to like make us kind of want to keep doing this. You know what I mean?
So
it's not enough to it's like enough change in our pockets to make it worth our while.
So it's
So say
he
fuck
wanted
off.
us to touch his dick money.
Yeah, pretty much. And we can't talk negatively about him anymore
Oh
No, fuck it.
or
No.
Tesla products.
Because there's if we're in a world where he wanted to do that, then there is companies out there that are good that we could hook up with.
I
know what
thought he
mean?
was
Like,
a
that would
free
be my
speech
thought.
absolutist.
No, he's not.
Well,
because of the whole
I
thing.
know. I just wanted.
Well,
fucking
only
talk his
some
talk.
people can say the N-word on Twitter. Only some people, not everyone.
Only right wing
some people.
accounts can.
Whiteys.
Yeah. The fact that I'm still blown away that some poor bastard, probably like a fucking intern, literally got the assignment to be like, hey, I need you to make 2 data arrays. One of them is a list of right-wing fucking things. The other array is a list of fucking racial slurs. I need you to type out the N-word no less than like 3 times. Like, imagine that shit. Imagine you sit down at your desk. What am I going to do today? Like, what's the work ticket that I've been assigned? Oh, type out every racial slur you can think of into our code base and then push it to production.
Seems like a test.
I know. Oh, fuck. That list was long. Anyway, we're at.
Because Adrian told me that Elon's a good guy, so I can do it.
Yeah, Adrian likes him, dude. Adrian likes Elon because
Didn't every right winger hate Elon Musk like 6 years ago, 7 years ago?
Dude.
Yeah.
And now they're just they
Yep.
got a boner and they're confused about it. Like, they don't know what to do with themselves. Like, I
Electric
hate your
cars are gay,
cars.
but I love Elon.
Right. I'll never buy one of his cars. Those are fucking stupid and whatever.
Those are woke.
I
Yeah.
have seen a lot of less shit talk about Teslas though. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, Rick, you should put like he him, like a little he him sticker on the back of your Tesla. Just cuz like pronouns light up every fucking conservative fuck. So like I feel like you would just literally watch, like in Mars Attacks where they like start playing the music and their heads literally explode, like you would start seeing that. Like they'd be like fucking pronouns, bam, like just pop.
Dude, I just feel like I'd get shot at where I live.
Fuck, you might.
wouldn't. They'd
Yeah,
follow you home.
that's not a bad point. Some fucking straight up like Jeepers Creepers ass shit going on out there.
Right.
Hills have eyes, motherfuckers can own guns in America. So yeah, Uncle Dad and Aunt Mom can fucking buy you a goddamn assault rifle for your 3rd birthday or whatever. Bring you out back, teach your cross-eyed ass how to fucking shoot a soda can. God bless America.
Oh, fuck.
I just want to stand up and hand over my heart and listen to the fucking Star Spangled Banner. Let's fucking land this goddamn plane. We talked about turkeys getting fucked. It's too soon, Eric.
That's true. We did. Pretty aggressively, too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, too soon. It's too soon. I can't talk about turkeys for another 6 months at least.
Yeah.
Okay, Thanksgiving's up for a while.
I'll forget by then.
All right. Well, have a butterball fucking rest of your weekend. We'll see you guys next week.
Like, rate, subscribe, and sponsor the podcast, and have a fucking night.
Fuck you, Elon.